Yo, peace was good. Welcome to another installment of my CD collection. This is part 114. But before I start, I want to send my condolences to the family of Bushwick Bill. He passed away with pancreatic cancer. I believe on Friday he passed away, or like over the weekend. And I also want to say rest in peace to Shorty of the lynch mob. He died, I think yesterday, last night. Not sure what he died from, but I've heard it from a couple of sources, DJ Vlad being one of them, and then I heard from a couple of people on on social media saying the same thing. So I just want to send my condolences to those people. But on a lighter note, I want to say happy belated Father's Day to all the great fathers living their best life, enjoyed their day. I hope they enjoyed their day. I'm glad I saw on social media that there wasn't a lot of male father bashing, like the deadbeat dads and all that. Like, it's just like mad disrespectful. Like that, like Father's Day is not the day for that, and this is not for single mothers either. This is for fathers only. Okay, and I respect single moms, to the fullest because I was raised by one. But you know, gotta give fathers that just do. You know what I mean? And I want to give a shout out to all the fathers that's up in heaven, smiling down below, smiling above. Excuse me. But enough of that. Let's get on with the albums that I got. These first four albums I got from FYE. These are FYE purchases. The first song I want to show is the Crow soundtrack. This was released in 1994. Very, very, very dope album. This is like pretty much like alternative rock, that kind of thing. The best way I could describe it, if you like stuff like Korn, Rage Against the Machine, shit like that, then I think you guys would definitely enjoy this album. The singles off this album, this one single it came out of is Big Empty by Stone Temple Pilots. To me, this the standout tracks for me are Burn by The Cure. Love The Cure. Something different from The Cure, you know what I mean? But I'm more of a fan of their 80s stuff, like their early 80s stuff, like 17 Seconds, Faith, Pornography, even the EP they dropped called Japanese Whispers, which I would love to get my hard copies on those, but those are hard to find. But thank God for Amazon, right, and eBay and all the online. But yeah, The Cure was pretty the Burn, that was pretty dope by The Cure. Darkness, I love that by Rage Against the Machine. Little trivia, hip hop trivia. Arsonists, they sampled that beat, or they sampled that song at the beginning of Darkness from their first album, the song called Flashback, I think it's called, Flashback, I think it's called. And they sampled that, they just looped it and they rapped over that. I thought it was pretty dope. Rage Against the Machine, Darkness, that was pretty dope. What else? A song called Milk Toast by Helmet, that was pretty dope. What else? The Baz by Pantera, pretty dope band. Let's see what else. Time Baby Ill, or Time Baby 3, I think it's Time Baby Ill by Medicine. Not sure who they are, but that's pretty dope. And It Can't Rain All the Time by James Sidbury. So yeah, very dope, dark stuff. Like I said, if you like stuff like I said, the first Rage Against the Machine album, the first Korn album, then I think definitely you would definitely enjoy this album right here. Good stuff right here. The Crow soundtrack, released in 1994. Rest in peace to Brandon Lee, man. You guys know that he died during the making of this movie, that kind of thing back in '93. And you guys should know that he's one of the sons of Bruce Lee. So yeah, the Crow soundtrack released in '94. With a swig of water. Alright. Next album, speaking of, is Korn's second album, titled Life Is Peachy. This was released in 1996. This is the second album. I used to have this album years ago, but I gave it to my cousin, and I just never bought another copy. But I got this for $5, brand new. So love this album. It's like, I would have to say this album and the self-titled album, all my favorite albums from them. Very dope album. The singles off this album was No Place to Hide. The second single, I believe, was Adidas, which stands for I forgot the I think it's called All I All Dreams. I've something about dreaming about day sex or some dreaming about sex or some shit like that. I forgot the title. Forgot the acronym for that. But Adidas. Um, what else? Good God was a, no. I'm sorry. No Place to Hide. Adidas and Good God. Those are the singles off the album. Standout tracks for me. Best tracks for me are Shy, Swallow, Mr. Rogers, Cunts. Yeah, Cunts. No Place to Hide. That was pretty dope. Wicked. I love that. That was the Ice. They covered the Ice Cube song "Wicked" off the Predator album, which was also a single. Wicked. I thought that was pretty dope. I read that a lot of people didn't like that. You know what I mean? But fuck it. I thought it was dope. They did their thing on that. Adidas. The single as I mentioned before, and Kill You. I think those are the good songs. Those are standout tracks. And Good God does as well as a good song too. Yeah, man, I love this album. Very dark. When they were making this album, they kind of wanted to make it like a more aggressive album, and I think they recorded within like a couple months and stuff like that. So, yeah, really good album. I love it. Very dark, very grimy. Love it. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's crazy because David Sevilla, man, his drum program in this album, like just in general, like the stuff that he did with Korn throughout the 90s all the way up to like 2006 when he left the group or he got kicked out. Korn hasn't been the same since, but David Sevilla, he to me was the Korn sound, and all my Korn fans know what I'm talking about, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree with to that. But I think to this day they don't fuck with David. You know what I mean? Which is sad, but it is what it is. But yeah, Korn with Life Is Peachy released in 1996, very dope stuff. Oh yeah. Alright, next album is LL Cool J with the 10 album. This was released in 2002. Will be his 9th album, which is very ironic because with an album called 10, you would think this would be his 10th album, but it's actually his 9th album. His 10th album is called Definition, that came out I believe in 2004 with the song Hush and I forgot the other song, the Headsprung song, which, oh my god, that song is so annoying. But there's no fucking track listing on here, which is fucking crazy. I think you have to open it up and actually find it, but which is crazy. It came like this because I know usually the cover for this album is like you see him like holding his hat down, looking down and shit. But that's how it came about, and I needed the album anyways. So, and I eventually would have to do a review on this album. But I wrote it down. The singles off this album is "Love You Better," which I love, "Paradise," "Amazing." Those are the 3 singles off the album. To me, the standout tracks are "Love You Better," "Paradise," and "Clockin' G's." I think those are the best tracks. The rest of them were like a lot of filler. You could tell El Cool J was trying to get in with the times and stuff like that. Like I don't know, it just wasn't him. Like it didn't really fit him. You know what I mean? Like like I said, he was trying to go for a more commercial sound, but it just didn't work for him. So it didn't work in his favor. So I didn't really care for this album too much. But I'm just glad that I have the owner in the collection and stuff like that. So I definitely will have to do more LL Cool J albums. So far the reviews I did Bigger Than Duffer from '87. I need to get his first on radio. I need to get that. I did Walk With a Panther, which I wasn't a fan of. A little bit too commercial for my taste. Mama Should Knock You Out, I did a review on. It was one of his best albums. It's definitely like one of his a lot of people like to say that's his magnum opus. That's debatable because that's how I feel about with Mr. Smith, but that's just my personal opinion. 14 Shots to the Dome, another one of my favorite albums that a lot of people love to hate on. I don't know why, but it's just like, to me, it was just, Mama Said Knock You Out Part 2. And I did a review of Mr. Smith, and I did a review on Phenomenon, which I was not a fan of. And I got to do a review on a GOAT one day. So definitely stay tuned for that. And then eventually I would have to do a review on this album. So yeah. So this is a Definition. No, 10. This is 10 by L Cool J. It's a ninth album. Like I said, it's just fucking stupid. But released in 2002. Next album is Lil Kim with La Bella Mafia. This was released in 2003. This would be considered her third album. First album came out in '96 called Hardcore, which is a hip hop classic in my opinion. Okay, nobody says. Then she came out with Notorious K.I.M., which I showed like years ago. That album was okay. That album was supposed to come out in '99. It was supposed to be called Queen Bitch, but it got pushed back because it got leaked, and she had to redo the majority of the songs, and she made them, and then what you hear on the retail version is what you get, and the album was pretty good. It was okay. It wasn't the best, but it had some joints. But then she came back with this album. Like I said, La Bella Mafia. Very dope song. Dope album. Love it. Because when this first came out, when she came out with that the Jump Off song with Mr. Cheeks, I wrote it off because I was on my G Unit, Dipset, my hardcores, and my '90s shit. So when this shit came out, I was like, what the fuck is this? I ain't listening to this bullshit. Like, shit is whack. But then I bought it recently, and then with open ears and an open mind, and then I actually enjoyed this album, man. The singles off this album are The Jump Off, like I mentioned before, Magic Stick, and Thug Love. Those are the singles off the album. Standout tracks for me are let's see, Doing It Big. That was Doing It Way Big. This Is Who I Am. Very dope. I love that beat. That beat was also used by Fabulous off his street album called More Street Jeans Part 2, the mixtape. That was pretty dope. Highly recommended. It's called BK Style. He killed that. He used the same beat for that, but that's where that's where that beat came from. The beat that Fabulous used, it came from this album, so just to let you guys know that. Yeah, very dope. The Jump Off with Mr. Cheeks, that was very dope. I like that song. This Is a Warning, that was pretty dope. Thug Love, Magic Stick, featuring 50 Cent, one of my favorite songs. The story with Magic Stick is that that song originally was supposed to be for Get Rich or Die Trying, and originally he wanted Trina on the song, but I guess Trina didn't make the deadline, so he hit up Lil Kim. Lil Kim was like, you know what, the song is not gonna be able to make it on my album. I'll give it to you for your album, and that's how it came about. And if you notice too, if you notice when you listen to the song, 50 Cent goes first, so that's how you can tell that the album excuse me. That's how you know the song was originally for 50 Cent or Give Us to Die Trying. It would have been a nice addition to it, but it's definitely more appropriate on this album, so very dope. Love the song. Wish they had a video for it, but it is what it is. Very I got the magic stick, and then Lil Kim's like, I got the magic clip. Very funny, man. Very dope shit right there. Yeah, Magic Stick, and Came Back For You. Very dope album. Love it, you know what I mean? You can tell that she had more creative control off this album. Very, very dope. One song I was very disappointed with was the song Holding Out featuring Havoc. I was very disappointed with that shit because all Havoc did was he just used the instrumental for Paul Revere for Beastie Boys. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, and I hate that song too, so I can't stand that song, Paul Revere. I think it's like one of the most overrated songs in hip hop, in my personal opinion. And I wasn't a fan of that. You could have done so much more to that. You could have had like some drums and like a bass line or some shit, some crazy shit like that. But it is what it is. But this is La Bella Mafia by Lil Kim, third album, released in 2003. Next album. That was it for the FYE purchase. Next one is I bought it from a store, and it is Ice Cube with his compilation album called Future and Ice Cube. This is released in 1997. This is pretty much like a compilation album of I wouldn't say like it's his greatest hits. I guess you could say that, but it's more songs that he was featured on, in a sense that he was featured all throughout the 90s. Like you got songs like Natural Born Killers with Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. They were supposed to do a collab album called the Helter Skelter album, but that never came about, unfortunately. Uh, excuse me. Then you got Bow Down from the West Side Connection album. Did a review on that. Definitely check that out. Then we got Bob Gun, One Nation with Ice Cube, off with featuring George Clinton, off the Lethal Injection album, which I was not a fan of. Check Yourself with Das Effects is the remix. Trespass, Ice-T featuring Ice Cube off the Trespass soundtrack, which I need to get my hands on. It's a Man's World, Ice Cube, West Up of WC in the Mad Circle, featuring Ice Cube. That was off the Curb Serving album. Wicked Ways with Mr. Mike off the Wicked Ways album, very dope. Two to the Head with Coogee Rap. That was off the Live and Let Die. But what makes this album very interesting, it has an unreleased song called Bend the Corner with Me, featuring Mr. Short Chop. But they shortened it to just Chop. And I made a mistake because I thought Mr. Short Chop, his first appearance was actually on the War and Peace album, but it was actually on this album. And Bend the Corner with Me, very dope song right here. Very, very, very dope. But yeah, it's good to have, you know what I mean? Even though it's like a compilation album of already known songs, but just for the song Bend a Corner with Me, it was definitely worth getting, and I got it for $2.99, so can't beat that. But yeah, very dope stuff. Ice Cube, featuring Ice Cube, released in 1997. Then we got Blackstreet with the self-titled album, released in 1994. I showed you guys their second and third album. I forgot Another Level, and I think Finally was the third album for '99. This is its self-titled album released in 1994. Love this album. I think this is their best album, in my personal opinion. You know, Teddy Riley, you guys know who he is, stuff like that. Singles off this album are Baby Be Mine, Booty Call, Before I Let You Go, You Blow My Mind, Joy, Tonight's the Night. Those are singles off the album. Standout tracks for me are You Blow My Mind, I Like the Way You Work, Good Life, Physical Thing. I love that. It uses the same sample as the 92 interlude off of Gangstar, Daily Operation album, the 92 interlude, and then eventually Heavy D used it for what's the song? Yes Yes Y'all. He also used that, but uses the same sample, the Aretha Franklin sample. Yeah, very dope shit right there. I love that joint. Physical Thing, Make You Wet, Joy, Before I Let You Go. What else? Fall in Love Again, Tonight's the Night, Happy Home, and Giving You All My Love. I love this joint. Very, very dope album. Very underrated. I don't really hear too many people talk about when it comes to R&B releases. I just think Blackstreet in general are underrated. But if you're gonna get into Blackstreet, I recommend checking this album out first. Or if not, I would even check out their second album, Another Level, that came out in '96. But yeah, this is actually my favorite album from them, and then Another Level. So pretty much their first two albums are my favorites. But this is Blackstreet, self-titled album, released in 1994. Very dope stuff. Next album, still on the R&B side of things, is Monifah with Mahogany. This was released in 1998. This is her second album. Monifah, for those who don't know, she's a R&B singer. I believe she's from, I want to say she's from Long Island. I think she's from Hempstead. She's known for her affiliation with the late, great Heavy D. Heavy D put her on. She came out with her first album back in '96 called Moods Moments, which I need to get my hands on. It's a very dope album. I think she has a song that she did with Tretch, which was a single. That was actually pretty good. Forgot the name of the song, but yeah, pretty dope album. The singles off this album are Touch It, Bad Girl, and Sugar Sugar. Standout tracks to me are Sugar Sugar, Would You, Have You Ever Been Loved, Fallen in Love, Better Half of Me, and What's the Deal. Those are like the standout tracks to me. Some of the songs here, I think they try. It has a little bit too much filler. Some filler tracks on this album. You know what I mean? Like songs like Why, What You Gonna Do. I wasn't too crazy about I'm Loving You. I wasn't really too crazy about that. Monifah's anthem Bad Girl. Bad Girl 2 or some shit like that. I wasn't crazy about those. But the rest of the album I do like, but got some filler tracks, but you know, nothing to it. But this is Monifah, Mahogany. This is released in 1998. This is the second album. Alright, then we got album that I've always wanted to listen to, but I finally got it. Madonna with her fifth album, Erotica, released in 1992. This album has a lot of controversy, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But the singles off this album are Erotica, the self-titled track, Deeper and Deeper, Bad Girl, Fever, Rain, and Bye Bye Baby. Those are the singles off the album. Alright? Stand-on tracks for me are Fever, Deeper and Deeper, Where Life Begins, where Life Begins, she talks about giving head and how she gets pleasure off of it. She loves giving head and shit like that, so pretty dope. Waiting, Thieves of Hearts, Words, Why Is It So Hard, In This Life, and Did You Do It, and Secret Garden. Secret Garden, you know, in this song, she talks about masturbation and stuff like that. The story with the background with this album, she wanted a more raw approach, you know what I mean? Because she wanted like a raw, gritty approach to it, to the point where she didn't want to record the album in, let's say like the upscale, the state of the art studios. She wanted to go to like the likes of a D&D studio. I'm not saying she recorded in that studio, but I'm just saying like in the likes of, because if you guys know about D&D studios, it was like rundown, it was grimy, and it's like has like a real basement feel. So that's what she wanted for this album. So to get that feel to it, and you know, this album caught a lot of flack because of her openness when it comes to sexuality. And then she came out with the book Sex, which goes for crazy money. I heard it goes for as much as a stack to get that. So it's long out of print. And you know, around this time she was recording that movie A League of Their Own, that baseball movie, the girls softball movie. Very dope movie, very dope. But yeah, very dope album. And so this album inspired the likes of Janet Jackson when she could have put out Velvet Rope, you know, stuff like that. You know, like I said, she's very open with sexuality, and that's why, you know, got explicit lyrics, and you know, she really goes in. Production wise, is very dope, you know, because she kind of has like a deep house / hip hop feel to it. Very dope, but it has like a really gritty sound to it. I love it. Way ahead of its time. I love it. I think this is definitely one of her most underrated albums in my personal opinion. But and another story that I heard during this album is she went to Puerto Rico to do like doing the tour, and it was crazy because she grabbed the Puerto Rican flag and she was rubbing it on her pussy, and that caused a big uproar, and people was going crazy over that. So I thought that was kind of crazy, you know what I mean? But yeah, but I just love the whole story, the background story, like how, like I said, she wanted like a more raw, gritty approach. She wanted to go to like the low budget, grimy studios to record the album, to give it that feel, that raw feel. Cause you know, when you go raw, you know, you just have raw energy, that raw feel. So that's what she want to give the people. But yeah, I love this album, definitely. I know I say Ray of Light is like my favorite Madonna, but it's definitely like one of my favorites as well, because this is a great album. I need to get more like her bedtime stories, like the True Blue from the '86. I need to get self-titled, the Like a Virgin, and you know, stuff like that. So, but yeah, this is Madonna with Erotica. This is released in 1992. Very dope, very underrated. I'm gonna show two more because I got more, but I'm gonna split it so you know how I get down. And it is Buju Banton with Unchained Spirit. This is released in 1999. I know on like Wikipedia and other places it says 2000, but I'm just going by what it says on the manufacturer. So I'm on the CD, so it's 1999. So I'm gonna go with 1999 on that. The thing with this album is the fact that it wasn't really promoted very well. Not a lot of people know about it. It was kind of like a word of mouth kind of thing, and I think it has something to do with the record label that he was under, Epitaph Records, Penthouse Productions. because I think Epitaph was kind of like a punk rock record label or some shit like that. So something like this, something the likes of that. But yeah, so he didn't get a lot of good promotion with this album. So there's no like notable singles, but the standout tracks for me are excuse me, Sudan, We'll Be Alright, Pull It Up, Life Is a Journey. That is my shit. That's actually my favorite song, Life Is a Journey. It kind of reminds me of, like, production wise, it kind of reminds me of that song What You Gonna Do, that shit he did of the Till Shadows album with Wayne Wonder. It kind of has that same vibe to it. It sounds like something that could have been on the Till Shiloh album. That's Life Is a Journey. That was pretty dope. Better Must Come and Woman Them Fat. Those are the standout tracks. I think Woman Them Fat. There's a video for that, so definitely check that out. The thing with this album, the way it starts off, it kind of starts off a little slow, you know, because it kind of starts off with the African chanty kind of style that, you know, a lot of dancehall artists did in the late '90s. They would do like a lot of kind of like not acapella, but like with the African chants. There's a lot of that in the beginning of this album, so it kind of starts off slow. Then it picks up regarding like around track 5 and 6, you know, it goes back to the traditional dancehall vibe and stuff like that. But this is definitely an underrated album. It's not his best album, but it's not bad. It's not his best. It's not Till Shallow. It's not Voice of Jamaica. It's not Paid Not Played. The Inner Heights and stuff like that. But yeah, this is Buju Banton. I believe this is his 6th album. This was released in 1999. Last but not least, I'm gonna show this off, is TQ with his first album, They Never Saw Me Coming. This was released in 1998. Very, very dope album. As an R&B singer from LA, I think he's from I want to say he's from Compton. I'm not sure what part of Watts. I'm not sure what part of Cali he's from, but I know he's from LA. It has I believe there's 3 singles off the album. The singles are West Side, Bye Bye Baby, and Better Days. Very, very dope shit right here. Standout tracks for me are West Side, Paradise, They Never Saw Me Coming, Gotta Make That Money, I Get Around, One More Lick, Darling Mary, When I Get Out, Your Sister, Bye Bye Baby, and The Comeback. So pretty much the whole album is pretty dope. So if you like gangsta hip hop, gangsta G-funk shit, then you'll definitely enjoy this. But in the R&B form, then I think you guys would definitely enjoy this album. Very dope, very, very, very dope. I'm so glad I got this. I remember hearing West Side like a couple years ago, because I never heard of TQ until a couple years ago. Then I heard the West Side, but I always wanted to hear the album. So finally got it. I really enjoyed it, and that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna cut it short because I'm running out of time. I'll probably do the next one either later on tonight or early, sometime tomorrow morning. All right, y'all be easy. Be easy. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm sorry it's not like amazing stuff, but I do have some good stuff coming. I got some stuff stacked up, so I'm just letting go like some of not the appetizers, if you will. I got some fire. I'm just gonna let you know that. But right now I'm just giving you guys the little teasers, if that makes sense. That's it, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, peace.